Well, just out of curiosity, do you kill insects?
Hey everyone, Seb here, welcome back to a new video. Today is going to be a vegan takedown video where I'm going to be talking about two different clips that I found of Noam Chomsky being asked about veganism and animal rights. Before we get into it, I'm going to quickly ask you to please subscribe and hit the notification button. This helps my channel a lot. You can also check me out on other platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. For those of you who don't know, Noam Chomsky is an American linguist, philosopher, historian, political activist, and so much more. He's a brilliant human being, and that is why I'm kind of shocked to see his stance on animal rights and decided to make a video about him. I'm going to be showing two videos. The second one is more interesting, so make sure to stay at the end because what he said really shocked me. I do want to say that this is his view on animal rights. It doesn't necessarily mean that all the views he holds regarding other subjects are completely wrong. I actually do agree with a lot of the stances he has regarding other subjects. However, as an animal rights activist and as someone who has done videos on people who use logical fallacies or ridiculous justifications for animal exploitation, I do feel the responsibility to call it out and make a video about it. So if you are a Chomsky fan and you landed on this video, make sure to stick through and understand why I believe his position on animal rights is wrong.
Well, I think you can give an argument for it, but there's costs associated with it. I mean, it takes time, effort, planning, so there are costs. And you could say the same about turning the lights on in the evening. I mean, we all do it, but there are costs. In fact, that's one of the things that's contributing to the massacre of animals. So we live in a world in which we make choices and they have costs. And you have to then make decisions about which ones are the right ones for you. What's the opportunity cost for doing something? So should you live in the dark, say? Should you walk instead of taking a bus? I mean, questions arise all the time. Veganism, I think, is like that.
So this is only a 54 seconds clip that I found online. It's from 2014, and basically he's trying to justify or explain his personal stance on veganism by saying that it has certain costs and it demands time and planning. Now, it's not completely wrong. Depending on what you eat, veganism can cost more or less. That's completely up to you, and you can have a healthy vegan diet by eating just the non-processed vegan food that is usually most of the time the cheapest one you can find, even cheaper than a non-vegan diet. And the other thing he mentions that it takes planning. Of course, it takes planning to eat a balanced diet. You can still be vegan and be unhealthy if you don't plan it, just the same way you can be a non-vegan and be unhealthy if you don't plan it. However, that planning only takes probably a couple of days until you find out all the information, all the nutrients and everything that you have to be making sure to get, because if you want to be healthy, you have to get them. But that's about it. It's not like now, after 7 or 8 years of being vegan, I wake up every day and I sit and plan what I'm going to eat throughout the day because I have to plan it. No, you just understand which nutrient is in which plant-based foods, and that takes a few days, and then over time you just get used to it. However, I do want to say, you can have a stance on animal rights. I mean, it's not like he has a certain economical situation which doesn't allow him to be vegan because he can't plan it and it's too costly for him. And then comparing it to, we turn on the lights and that's a decision you make and it comes at a cost. Would you rather live in the dark or would you rather walk? Like, are you gonna walk or take the bus or the car? This is not the same at all. Like, I think it's such a bad comparison to say you can walk somewhere but you're taking the car. I mean, it depends how far that place is. If you're taking the car to drive 20 meters, obviously that's not the right way to go. But if you're gonna go somewhere that's an hour away on a highway, it's obviously a very easy decision. And it's the same thing with veganism. You're going to the same supermarkets. Instead of picking up animal-based products, you can just pick up plant-based foods. And if you actually think about the philosophy, then it has nothing to do with the cost or the time or the planning. He can still have the stance of animal rights and actually agree that animals deserve moral rights without bringing up all these excuses as if it's kind of an obstacle. So that's it for the first video. Now let's check the second video, which actually is the one that shocked me more.
I am perturbed by two questions of moral philosophy. The first one is concerning Peter Singer. Is he right on animal rights? And my second question is on inequities at birth. We can't redistribute IQ, height, good looks, talent. We can redistribute wealth and income. Does this have any moral significance at all? Thank you.
Just out of this. Well, just out of curiosity, do you kill insects like mosquitoes when they're bothering you? Or do you think that when mosquitoes are carrying malaria, we ought to develop means to kill them off? Question. Okay, that's part of the answer. You can pursue. Sure.
So, do you kill insects, or do you think we should kill insects that carry malaria? Is part of the question or the answer, he says, but I don't understand how this has anything to do with the stance of animal rights, how it actually justifies you unnecessarily exploiting, killing, and discriminating against other animals. You can believe that it's better for your health and safety and life to kill certain mosquitoes because they carry deadly diseases, while simultaneously not killing and exploiting the ones that are not affecting your life in any way. By the way, let's remember that eating these animals does kill you. I mean, it's one of the main reasons people die. Yeah, you're not killing them because they have malaria, you're killing them to eat them, and that's gonna kill you. So he said two extremely contradicting things. Like, if you have the stance that you should kill mosquitoes that carry malaria because that's bad for your health and your general well-being, then you should have the same stance on killing the animal agriculture industry that provides food that is bad for your health and your general well-being, including the environment, and of course not forgetting the animals themselves.
Animals should have rights. But none of us believe that including Peter Singer, that animals should have the rights of human beings.
That was kind of a straw man. I don't know why he's saying none of us believe that animals should have the rights as human beings, including Peter Singer. It's true. But who's saying that animals should be given the rights that humans have? I mean, this guy just raised the question of animal rights. He didn't say, should animals be given the same rights as human beings? No one here is campaigning for the right of a cow to drive a car. We're talking about basic moral rights.
There's good reasons for that. Rights don't exist in a vacuum if you're talking about moral philosophy. Rights are associated with responsibilities. We don't attribute any responsibilities at all to other animals, do we? I mean, we don't.
So he's claiming that rights do not exist in a vacuum, like moral rights, but they're related to responsibilities, and we don't give any responsibilities to animals, therefore they don't have rights. I mean, to begin with, other animals do have responsibilities towards each other, like parenting, for example, or providing for the other members of their group. But just because we don't give them any responsibilities, that justifies them not having rights. I mean, I also don't give a 2-month-old baby any responsibilities. In fact, a 2-month-old baby has less responsibilities than most of the animals that we kill. How can we then justify what we're doing? If you're not gonna kill a 2-month-old baby because they don't have any responsibilities, then why are you killing other animals that you have not given any responsibilities to?
Say that a lion has to be sent to the gas chamber if it kills a gazelle, let's say. No, they don't have responsibilities.
So a lion is not sent to a gas chamber for killing a gazelle. They don't have responsibilities. Lions kill gazelles or other animals because they need to eat something. In fact, we do send other animals into gas chambers, including pigs, and they don't even kill gazelles. So you're saying that a so-called guilty lion for killing a gazelle does not have the responsibility of anything, therefore we will not send the lion into a gas chamber, but you would send a pig who has not killed or harmed anyone into a gas chamber for the sake of a sandwich. I mean, it's completely irrelevant how you're killing the animal. You're still claiming that the rights are connected to responsibilities rather than interests.
And that, of course, if in moral philosophy, now just abstract discussion, relates to the question of what their rights are. And they should have rights. So, for example, it's a step forward in our general kind of moral development that animals are not subjected to torture in the way they were just a few years ago. So in Britain and the United States, there are now constraints on the torture, what we call experiment torture of at least animals that are closer to us, like primates, than there were 30 or 40 years ago. So yes, we're developing some sort of conception of rights, but I don't think anyone thinks that animals have the rights and responsibilities of human beings.
Another straw man, I don't know why he keeps on coming back to the idea that animals should be given the rights and responsibilities that humans have. No one is talking about that. The example he gave, that the way that we kill and torture animals nowadays has changed, or at least in the United States, especially when it comes to animal testing. That's nothing but welfare laws, and welfare is not the same as abolition. The stance that we should have on animal rights should be as strict as the stance that we have on human rights, because the same logic and the same theory that grants humans their moral rights can also apply to other animals. And I'm really shocked that someone as brilliant as Noam Chomsky completely strawmanned this person and then provided examples that have nothing to do with the real question that he had, by switching the attention over responsibilities that no one is actually talking about, while simultaneously not being a dietary vegan himself, which means that he is even contributing to the slaughter of animals who don't have responsibilities and have not committed any crime but the crime of being born in their species, which is not even in their hands. So that's it for today. It was a quick video that I thought about doing this morning when I came across this second video that I watched on YouTube. I thought it would be good to reflect on this. I'm really surprised that he has this stance. I know he's 92 years old now, so I don't know if he would change anytime soon. However, if you are a Chomsky fan, again, I don't in any way believe everything he says is wrong, but I do believe he has an extremely flawed stance on animal rights, and I do wish he was not using logical fallacies to try to justify his stance. If you have found any videos you would like me to comment on, please leave it in the comment section below and let me know if you'd like me to do a vegan takedown on it. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button. If you would like to support my work anyway from a few dollars a month, check out my website sebalex.org and ethics-over-habits.com for vegan, fair trade and organic merchandise. Thank you again for watching. I'll see you in the next video.